What is up, everybody? Welcome to Down and Down, a rabbit hole podcast. My name is Buck.
And I'm Jack.
And we have a few guests with us today. Because black people are better people. Let's start with that.
Long as you knew it. Hey, y'all. I'm Bev.
I'm Jill.
My wife.
She's also not white, so she's better than we are.
Yeah.
And
Which was on purpose. But you have not only two females, but two females on here who are not white.
right. Which is precisely the point, because they fit both of the criteria that we are talking about today, which is
POCs.
that's not what we're talking about. No.
Oh, women.
Oh,
Character swapping.
yeah, we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about race and gender swapping and adaptations to film and television from intellectual properties. Let's get it.
Down and down the rabbit hole. Just how deep does it go? Where it stops, nobody knows. So let's go down the rabbit hole. Down and down the rabbit hole. Down and down the rabbit hole.
All right. So, yep, we're going to talk about that second Fantastic Four movie and why it was so bad. No, that's not why it was so bad. That's not why it was so bad.
I wasn't ready for that. I just took a swig.
Okay, so that's just an example. So, have you guys seen the first remake of Fantastic Four? The first remake, not the second.
I know Jill has.
Yes.
The one's got Michael B. Jordan in it,
Yeah.
who I generally love
Yeah.
in most things.
Generally or genuinely?
Generally.
Okay.
Generally. Not everything I've seen him in. My favorite thing he's ever been in was Chronicle. Chronicle was such a good movie.
Yeah.
But
I forget that was him.
yeah. So I use that as an example simply because in the Fantastic Four, traditionally, Johnny and Sue Storm are
Brothers and sisters.
blonde-headed white people, and in that adaptation of the Fantastic Four, they chose to make Sue Storm adopted into a black family.
Correct.
And Johnny Storm was Michael B. Jordan, who is black. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw my position out there. My friends know this. It has nothing to do with
Missionary.
prejudice or anything like that. What?
That missionary. That's your position.
Oh, my Lord.
Go ahead.
How embarrassing.
So, when it comes to intellectual properties, I am a bit of a purist when it comes to honoring the original vision of those properties.
Yeah.
I have a hard time separating something that I've been a fan of for years and years and years and years, and this image that I have in my head of this thing that I have been a fan of for that long, and just changing it. I get like representation, and I get that, but I still just have a really hard time, for the sake of representation, changing something that even the people who are being represented in see this property as, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my position. Jack,
Well,
what's
let's look to it. The specific one that you just gave, that example, they had to change the whole narrative just to make one of the main characters fit a racial group, right? I mean, that's what it was. They were trying. They wanted it to be more diverse. They wanted it to be more diverse, and so they wanted to bring in a black character. I feel like. I think the one that would have made the most sense, but the reason they wouldn't, and I know why they wouldn't have wanted to make him that way, would have been The Thing.
Yeah, because you wouldn't see him as a black person,
Right?
Or for the
And I can
majority of it.
right. Like I think that it would make the most sense because he's not really connected to the others.
However,
in the same
I will
way.
say, if you want to open up opportunities for black actors to be in roles, like that is a way to do it. Like Starfire in the Titans TV show.
Yeah.
They made her a black actress. Like they made her a black character. Starfire in the DC comics is an
orange.
orange-skinned person.
Correct.
And I think
She's an alien.
Yeah, that's something that you could absolutely do. You just need to make her look orange. They did it.
They did
just
not.
made her look
They made her black with a really bad red wig.
She looked like a prostitute.
The last time you were here, you were clocking Blossom's wig. Remember that? Mm-hmm. This is the same. It was a really bad red, and I'm talking red wig.
Yeah, and a really good example of doing it the right way is it's relatively relevant right now.
Relatively
Cynthia
relevant.
Erivo, Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba in Wicked.
Right.
Like now, we can get into other issues at a different time about this. However,
Yeah, 'cause-
she looks accurate, like pretty accurate, and she performs it pretty well. Like sings extremely well.
Yeah.
That is not a deviation from what we saw that character as, right?
For the most part.
So
It's not a racial divide. I guess in a kind of a way it is, but they didn't give her what we know of as the Wicked Witch look. Mm-hmm. They gave her the green skin, which I'm
right.
I'm
They
glad
didn't give her the nose.
They didn't give her like the pointed nose and chin, which we know that Margaret Hamilton had when she
Right.
originated that role.
Now, in their defense, they also didn't do that in the Wicked.
No,
Broadway
but
production.
but their cast also kind of looked more like that. Let's just be honest.
What are you talking about? Because I mean, the original cast, because Idina Menzel does. Have a pretty
that's what I'm
prominent-
saying. Idina Menzel
But,
has that.
I mean,
or
as-
Adele Dazeem.
What?
You don't remember that?
What are we talking about?
John Travolta.
Oh my God! Yeah, I do remember that.
Please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem.
Bev's got her hand up.
No, I just had to cough.
Oh,
I just didn't want y'all talking while I had to cough.
I thought you was trying to get our attention. I was like, you don't got to raise your
I
hand.
just
That's it.
wanted to make it easier for him to cut that cough out. So I was like, if nobody's talking,
I think that there's plenty of characters that already exist of other races that they could bring out more than taking original characters and redoing them.
Mr. Terrific.
I don't think I will say that as a kid, I'm Hispanic. So there was never been a Hispanic Disney princess. And that always bothered me as a kid.
They're still really not.
There's not. No, they
Although
that
they want to
stupid
say,
show.
well, Hispanic is a wide variety, and they could be any color, from black to white. They could be any of them. And
well,
and
make
I've
them
heard that-
beige and give us a Hispanic princess.
Right. I
Okay?
never had that. I
That
mean,
makes a rapist. And
I mean,
not being
technically,
That's right.
Technically, people from Spain can look totally white.
right.
Yeah.
So, are we going to make that argument? Like,
That's what the people are. No, that's what the people are saying is that that any of them could be Hispanic because there's so many varieties of Hispanic they can go. But you're right. There has never been one that, except for there was that show. What was it?
Encanto.
No,
No.
the Princess of Alvador. What was it called? It was a Disney show.
like a Disney Channel.
It was a
Yeah.
Disney Channel show. So what they did was they gave you the knockoff princess.
Well,
Yeah, we didn't get
I
a
loved
movie.
Encanto. That ain't got nothing to do with the Disney princess.
And I guess maybe
I
some,
love
was a
some people
Encanto too.
try to make the argument that they're kind of like princesses because their family is like the.
Encanto.
Yeah.
They're not princesses though.
I
It's
I
just a
agree.
movie
I'm
about
just
a
saying some people.
magical-
Elena of Avalor.
Yeah, I looked it up too.
Yeah, I
Elena
know what
of
you're talking about.
Avalor.
Atlanta of Alvalor.
No,
Atlanta
Elena.
of Avalon.
Elena of
Okay.
Avalor.
The closest one I ever had, I felt like, was Jasmine because she
Was brown.
had olive skin, and dark hair, but I wasn't allowed to dress up like Jasmine because you could see her belly.
I'm gonna tell you the
So-
truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
That nigga little camisole couldn't take
And
me
this isn't just because I want to be invited to the cookout, but
He does though.
real bad.
they need to give another go at a black Disney princess because that one sucked. It
Yeah.
sucked.
It wasn't the best, but you know.
No, you can say it. It sucked.
But at least they got something.
But at least she
And-
made beignet.
Of all,
Go
whose
ahead.
genius idea was it to put a Disney princess movie in the 1920s in Louisiana? That's the
We
dumbest
don't.
thing
We
I've
don't
ever
even
heard.
have them princesses in America.
No.
It didn't make sense, but you could tell. For me, when I watched it, I remember thinking you can tell that they're trying to give the black people a princess, but I felt like we could have clearly made this an African princess, and this could have been a bomb movie.
Absolutely.
Oh wait, no, you got
Absolutely.
a Latino prince in that movie.
Oh yeah,
That is not the same. I can't dress up like him.
You can't-
I was a kid.
I mean, you could if you were Gay Blossom.
Well, not though. Never.
oh, so man, I'm so off. But I've always felt like, so the story was originally like a German tale. So they took a German tale, put it in, which would have been white people. And so even that, they didn't even to give you your own princess.
It wasn't authentic.
It was not
It
authentic.
was very much so low budget, second fiddle.
And they used that as the example for why people don't want like 2D animation anymore, and that's why they went all into the 3D animation or whatever they have now. The CGI, that wasn't the reason. The movie was not as good. You wanted to give black people a movie, and you didn't give them even as good of a movie.
Yeah.
Y'all got ripped off.
Yeah.
I would
Biff?
concur. However, I really just think they were trying to answer the social
I agree with you.
plea for a
I think they missed an
African or black
opportunity
princess.
to have black princesses with Frozen. Now, granted, it's not from a fairy tale like that is African or anything like that. However, they did set it totally in a make-believe world.
Well, they did, but it is Hans Christian Andersen, which is
Like Norway.
Norwegian.
Right, which is Nordic.
Yeah.
But because they didn't base it entirely in a real place like most of the other
Most of them
Disney-
aren't.
Well, most of
Some of them are. You have France, but then you have like Tangled. That's a made up kingdom.
Tangled is a made up kingdom.
So is Aladdin. Agrabah is not a
Agrabah is
real
not, yeah.
place.
though you can really see like the elements there. And also Frozen does have black characters in it.
I do. In
so
the
like
second.
well there's a prominent black character in the second one. I think there's some like actual black like extras, if you want
Yeah.
to call them that.
Yeah.
CGI extras. But like
Well, it actually looks like Tiana's in. If you look in the ballroom scene, it looks like she's in there somewhere.
yeah. But Little Mermaid, I think that's supposed to be in Denmark. I think Cinderella, I'm pretty sure is supposed to be in France or Germany. Obviously Beauty and the Beast is
Well,
France.
Originally, Frozen, which was called
The Ice Princess or something like that.
something like that,
Ice Queen, I think, or something like that.
and The Little Mermaid were written by the same man.
But on kind of along the same lines, you know, then when they redid the Little Mermaid live action, then they did the same thing with Ariel.
Yeah, you talking about making her black?
Yeah, they took her and made her black. What do you think? Would you rather have them made a whole new character, or
I would have
swapped
preferred
her
a new character
rather than just swapping
just
one out?
because, like, traditionally she was a fair skinned redhead
Right.
mermaid.
When you
I
thought
mean,
of-
I didn't think there was an issue with that. I do think that representation is necessary, but it's all in how you do it. And I'm not saying that it was bad to make her
Sure.
an African American, but it wasn't necessarily authentic to that storyline.
Yeah,
Right.
whenever you would think of Ariel, what would you have seen in your mind? Ariel from the cartoon?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I
And
grew
you think
up
every
with. That's
other-
what
with, yeah.
I've been exposed to for over
Right.
30
And you think
years,
every
so-
other black girl up to that point also saw that?
Absolutely, because that's what that character
Right.
was. That's how it was represented
Yeah.
all of these years. Now, like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad thing they made her black, but I just feel like it wasn't genuine to that story.
You're right. Right. Well, I mean, do you feel like it also can cause a disconnect for people who have seen that character like that for so long? Like, and it
Absolutely. You see what happened when they came out that they casted a black actress
Yeah.
as the
Yeah.
lead, and like
And-
a lot of people
and
were in
I
an
will-
uproar because
Yeah.
it like it put a tarnish on their memory of that specific,
Yeah.
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 story.
Especially for redheads because
They don't have a lot of
they
princesses.
don't have a lot
Well,
of
that's a part of this conversation.
it, and we'll get there. I know we will. Here's another thing. A lot of people wanted to compare it to the Brandy Cinderella, but it's not, because you were doing a remake of an already classic film, whereas Brandy was just another version of the same story.
And that's technically an adaptation to a musical
Yeah.
production.
And when I was a little girl, Brandy Cinderella was top tier Cinderella stories.
Yeah.
Because there was a black princess and a little Asian prince, and they was just cute together. Okay.
Well, and I'm gonna be
Whoopi
honest-
Girl Bird was her mama, and she couldn't do no wrong because she was Brandy. Okay.
And she was Brandy.
I remember everybody. So that was very blind casting. Blind casting is when they cast the role not looking at
There's
know,
not ethnic logic.
Yeah,
to
there's
it.
no logic, no color or anything like that. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense, right? Because the prince was Asian, his mama was black, and the daddy was white.
Right, but you know what? I didn't have no problem with that because it was a little black princess with an Asian. You know, everybody was represented in that movie. Some like, because her daddy was the prince's daddy was white.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
Like,
saying.
it-
That's what I'm saying. It was a white daddy, black
But it
mama.
didn't need to make
Asian.
sense to me as a little 8-year-old girl.
Yeah.
It just was. It was nice to see somebody
Yeah.
my shade
But that's
as a princess.
But it was one of the most. It's one of the most famous, and it is very well known. Everybody loves that one. I still love that one, even though I think the blind casting is weird.
Yeah.
It wasn't because she
because
was
you're an
black.
adult,
Well,
you're
that's-
trying to make
No, I
sense
didn't.
of a
I didn't
fairy
like.
tale.
I didn't like it then.
That's not
Really?
even
Because it
connected
didn't
to the
make
Disney one. It's the Rogers and Hammerstein
It is
version.
it is, and that's what I'm saying. It was a different. It was a different telling of the same
Yeah.
story, but it
Which-
wasn't.
Does
a
that
remake.
predate the Disney movie?
No,
No.
Disney movie came
Disney
out. in
movie
like
came
the,
first.
When did well, I don't know when
The
Rogers and
60s,
Hammerstein
I
wrote
think,
that.
is
Oh, you
when
mean the
Rogers and
play?
Hammerstein
Yeah.
made
Well, the
Cinderella.
Rogers and Hammerstein's play was, I think,
It was like 50. Hold on.
So
I'm
it's
looking
not
it up.
far off.
yeah. I mean, they would have been around the same time. But
It was
but
in 1957.
I didn't have a problem with Cinderella being black. It was just weird to me that the family didn't match.
Right.
Well,
Does that make sense?
it does, but
Becau-
I didn't harp on that. I didn't care about
I
it.
always wondered if he was adopted. Okay, I always wondered if the prince was adopted, and if they had been like he's adopted, I would have been like, oh, I would have accepted that.
Yeah.
He was a little baby Moses.
I mean, I would have
baby
accepted.
Moses.
I,
Floating
I
down
could.
the
I would
river
have.
one day.
I would have accepted. A black queen, a white king, and this Asian prince that they adopted. I could have. I could have been fine with that. That was the only thing that didn't make sense to me, even as a child, because I knew that it didn't make sense. But her being a black princess did not bother me at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not a remake of the Disney film.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the difference lies. People wanted to compare them and be like, well, we had Cinderella and all that. But yeah, nobody cared because it was its own tale. It fit. It wasn't. They weren't ripping it from what people had already had in their mind as what this Cinderella was supposed to look like.
Right.
And her style of singing was different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
Very different.
In the live action.
In my own little corner, in my own little.
Well, I was thinking about the live action Little Mermaid. Like,
Oh, yeah.
she was much more soulful than Jodie Benson was.
And honestly, I'm gonna say this: Little Mermaid, the live action Little Mermaid, is probably the best live action of the Disney live action remakes, in my opinion.
I like
And
Cinderella
I'm
the
not
best.
Cinderella
counting
was the best.
Cinderella because it's not a direct.
It's not a
remake.
direct either, but it is still of.
Like,
It is. They still
pretty
consider
close.
it.
let me rephrase that: the musical ones, because Cinderella, the only music is she sings that lavender's green, dilly dilly.
Oh, my Lord.
Lavender's blue. And
He did
that's the
not.
only singing in the movie. So of those, I think Little Mermaid is probably the best. I'm not saying it doesn't have problems, because it does. And my general take is Disney, please stop making live action remakes. Please stop making live action remakes. They're
to
going
what
to be
you
riddled
know.
with controversy, and they're never going to be as good as the animated version. They're already complaining about Moana.
Oh,
Already complaining about Moana.
It's got the
her
same
hair
actress, doesn't it?
straighter. Her hair straighter.
What?
It's a thing that they're complaining about. They're erasing Polynesian people. I don't know. Even though she is absolutely a Polynesian person. they're complaining that her hair's straight. Like it's not even straight. It's just a little straighter than the actual animated movie. But and The Rock is playing Maui, who is
played the
who
voice
is a
in-
Hawaiian.
Yeah,
Well,
he's actually Hawaiian.
not Hawaiian.
Polynesian.
Samoan.
Samoan.
Yeah. He might have a little bit of Hawaiian in him. I know he's a multi-ethnic.
The Rock is from Hawaii.
I think he is from Hawaii, but I don't think his heritage is like Hawaiian.
Well, I think a lot of Hawaiian people have like other
Multiple,
Polynesian
yeah.
heritage.
He's from the
He's
island.
also got
He's from the islands,
He's from the
but not
islands.
those islands.
Yeah.
But no, so I definitely think that the Cinderella one, even though it's not a direct copy,
this is a better approach.
it's a better approach. They should have done that with all of them.
Yeah.
If that's what they were going to do.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I think of the ones that are like more along the lines of, hey, we're trying to remake the same movie with the same story and the same approach to it, same music. I think The Little Mermaids is probably the least irritating overall.
I don't know, Scuttle.
Yeah, but
That was horrible.
she's not really in it as much as the Scuttle
The scuttlebutt,
in the
the song.
yeah. That's
Let's
a good
not
song.
pretend that did not happen.
I don't hate Aquafina the way a lot of people do, though.
It's a good type of water.
Like Aquafina in Raya is great.
I forgot. I didn't.
Raya is a fantastic movie,
That is a good movie, very underrated.
and Aquafina in Shang-Chi is also good.
And what?
Shang-Chi, Jack.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
Aquafina is the girl lead in Shang-Chi.
What is Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi is a Marvel movie.
Oh, we never watched.
It's great. It's a great movie.
Cool.
To do that.
Asian representation.
Awesome. That's great that they have representation, but we're talking about the erasure of a people.
But I will say that I know I just said that I didn't have a Latin Disney princess growing up, and I didn't. But really, it didn't matter a whole lot to me because I related more to the character than the fact that they weren't Hispanic. Does that make sense?
Belle was one of your favorites.
Belle was my favorite because I love to read and I love books and I liked adventure and
I mean, I can appreciate wanting somebody to look like you.
Sure.
Because I definitely did that as a kid. I would gravitate towards the characters that, not that was all that I did, but I
Fat.
would seem to like
You always like
brown
the little
haired,
fat ones.
what a
the
jerk.
brown haired white characters in a lot of like properties.
And I always like the little blonde-headed ones.
Yeah.
I mean,
My favorite superhero is that.
but I also felt like there were less blonde boys
Yeah.
Yeah.
to relate to
That's
than
fair.
there were the
And
the
if that
darker-headed
blonde boy
ones.
had brown eyes, that's me.
That's yeah.
Because it's rare.
It was rare.
I was told that a lot. And then look, and we were just told it again.
I
It
was told
rare.
that. I was told that literally. I remember sitting in school.
Me and Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, well, and we're both beautiful. I don't know. I remember sitting in school one time in art class, and this girl looking beside me, and goes, "You know what's weird about you? You got blonde hair and brown eyes. You don't see that." And I was like, "Weird." Anyway, what was that? Why was that the word she chose? But no, it is less. So in that, if I find for Bunny, our daughter, if we find a blonde doll with brown eyes, it looks more like her, I'm more apt to get it. Even though, to be honest, Bunny has always kind of like the more melanated dolls.
She does.
She likes the little
Every time.
Hispanic ones or
They're so black
or
ones
some-
here.
Oh, yeah,
That's right.
The more melanated dog.
she does. But
Blamf.
But so let's talk about some of these characters that have been changed.
Okay.
Let's get into some of these because a major group that has been changed a lot, we kind of hit on it, are the redheads.
Redheads.
The
Poor
gingers.
redheads. Poor
So-
gingers.
Now, there has been this joke that I didn't make, and I'm letting you know right now.
Per TikTok? Is this the TikTok trend one?
You talking about the gingers are black people now?
Yeah.
Well, no, I've heard that, but a lot of them will say that it was black people that I heard say this, so I'm just throwing that out there,
Yeah.
that they just changed the letters around.
You know what?
No, you didn't. I forgot about that.
You know what?
I really
Throw
miss
something
my,
at him.
Listen, he getting close to getting disinvited.
my
from the
ginger.
But I'm still coming. I'm bringing the coleslaw.
Show enough.
Keep
As long as it ain't got no
coleslaw.
rice.
Okay, I don't do that.
I really miss my ginger.
Oh man.
My ginger, my ginger, my ginger.
White people, you can join in singing too.
No, but that I have heard black people say that it's as a joke, as when it's specifically dealing with this, because of here, and this is available for everyone, that you can kind of pull up all of these gingers, all of these redheaded characters who have been shifted, most of them to being black, some of them other races, but never a ginger, never being played by.
I mean, I'm not even looking at the list, and I can name quite a few, especially in comics. Obviously,
A lot in comics.
Wally West in the Flash TV show got changed, and eventually, because it got changed to TV show, they created another Wally West who was a totally different character in the comics that was a black Wally West. So there were two Wally Wests in the comics: the redheaded one and the black one.
Yeah.
And they did it with Batwoman. Batwoman was one.
They did.
Um,
We were talking about Disney. Oh,
April O'Neil.
April O'Neil has been done twice that way. She was always this. Now, originally, I didn't even necessarily think of her as a ginger or as redheaded, but it did have, I guess, like an auburn tint to it.
It was like a
I thought she was more
reddish brown.
Yeah, I always thought she was more brown-headed, but it did kind of become more red-headed over time. And then she was black, and then they were like, "Oh no, she's too cute. We got to also throw like weight on her and make her look like slouchy." So why did they do that to my girl? But they did. And we were talking about Disney a while ago, and if you remember, I think her name's like Miss Darling or whatever in the two dogs that fall in love. What's that called?
Wonder One Dalmatians?
No,
You're talking about Lady and the Tramp?
Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp.
In the live action, she's not a ginger woman. She's a black lady. It's a small part, and it's not even that big of a deal, but it's just another one that they do that to. But they also did it to in a 101 Dalmatian. What's her name?
Anita.
Anita. They do the same thing with her, and it just becomes it's like sometimes it feels like they are just doing where they're wanting to throw a bone, but they're not creating good characters.
Right. It's not of substance.
Right.
It's just like trying to appease
Exactly.
what everybody
Just to name a few-
seemingly wants.
Just name a few
But
more.
I feel like it's lazy.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
I would much rather you leave it the same and create an additional character that actually has some substance to it, that actually adds value to what you're trying to portray.
Just name a few more. While this isn't technically the same character, it's also supposed to be the same character. But Mary Jane Watson, Zendaya.
Yeah.
Which she is not Mary Jane Watson, but she is.
They call her MJ.
Yeah.
And she plays the role of Mary Jane, even though they were like, it's not the same character. Well, y'all made her up and gave her the same initials. Why did y'all do that?
Apparently, Electro in
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Yeah, I
is a
did.
redhead.
I did know that.
And also, where's the other one that I was looking at?
One of the ones that bothered me.
They did it to Daphne.
I feel like that
Apparently.
was a bad one.
They didn't make her black.
This has got a Daphne
they
beside
did.
her. That's black.
Oh, but she still has red hair. But
She's still redheaded.
I don't know
very
if she's.
least.
I don't know if she's black or if she's.
I think she might be mixed.
She might be.
Maybe she's
Okay, and
mixed.
Zendaya is technically mixed also.
Yeah, but but the reason the Daphne one didn't catch me as much off guard is because
She has more.
she's also
Caucus
lighter.
feature.
Yeah, you're like.
Heimdall.
Do what?
Heimdall is redheaded also.
Yeah, I did know that, and that was one of the ones.
And I love Idris Elba. Oh, but I think he's great in most of the
But
things
when,
that
it
he does.
doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you realize this was from Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Annie, they turned around and they made Black Annie, right? Blanny.
Blamf.
Blamf. That's a callback from the episode where Bev was on before. What was it stood for?
The African American melanated.
Black American Melanated Foundation. I'll remember till the day I die. I love it.
I was going to talk about one and I don't remember what it is now because I done got so distracted.
Jim Gordon.
Oh, Josie and the Pussycat. So whenever they made,
Oh, yeah.
when they did that on,
Dang, that's a throwback right there.
yeah. So Josie and the Pussycats always had a black member in the, always had a black member in the band. But when they brought it to, what's the name of that show that they did? The live action show about Archie comics, but it's Riverdale.
Riverdale. I thought it said Rivendell.
They made the whole band black.
Yeah.
Which then erased
the redheaded Josie's redheaded, right?
Josie, the leader of it, is redheaded. They had a blonde, a redhead, and a black girl. And to me, it kind of erased the integration of that band from that, especially from a time
From
period.
that time period, yeah.
Yeah.
That was big during that time.
So I am really a huge fan of the new Batman movie, the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. I love it. And if you follow comics at all, Jim Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, is a redheaded character. Now, he's not redheaded in the Batman animated series. He was white-headed.
Yeah. He was
So a lot of people might think, oh, he's not redheaded. But in the comics, he is redheaded. And he was played by... Can you look up who he was played by in the Batman? It was an amazing performance. Like, it's the best Commissioner Gordon that we have had on screen so far, out of anything. This guy's a really great actor. And so now...
Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright. While we're criticizing this as a practice, I think it's important to note that just because it may not be our preference to do this, to race swap a character, a pre-existing character, especially one that people have huge fandoms over, it doesn't mean you can't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And now
I don't like this in any direction.
exactly, like absolutely. If anybody tried to race swap the Black Panther, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
right?
I would be super pissed.
Partially because Chadwick Boseman did that so well.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah.
But he was black in the comics, and
Yeah.
he was one of the first, if not the first, black
Right,
superhero.
I think
He was in
is
one,
the
he was one of
first
the
John
first
Stewart.
two.
It's him or John Stewart. That's the first. I think he's the first. I think you're right. I think it
he
is
the
him.
first.
I think John Stewart may be the first DC black superhero. And so here's another huge example. Now I'm not going to include like high school productions or college productions because they work with a limited cast from their students. But if I went to see a Broadway level version of Fiddler on the Roof, I would be unbelievably irritated if I saw a cast that wasn't fully Jewish. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people need to be Jewish.
Yeah.
Or have Jewish, like, heritage, because it is a show about Jewish people. It
At least
bothers...
look Jewish.
Well, it's kind of hard. I think that's a little bit harder because they do kind of fit within like a lot of times can look white. You know what I mean? They just
Yeah, but they still need, like, Jewish descent. I mean, I think we can probably make the argument for... I mean, this may make it harder, but you can probably make the argument of Chinese people shouldn't play Japanese people, or...
Well, then you a few years ago, everybody started getting upset, and they didn't think you could play any part that you were not. Meaning, I disagree with
I
that.
disagree too because I feel like that's putting an actor or an actress in
Exactly.
a box. That,
Especially voice acting. There's people that are like, well, I'm not this, so I can't.
Voice acting is a little bit different because
Well,
we're
I
not
don't
talking
know,
about-
because if you start tiptoeing on that line, you better be ready to tiptoe on across it, because you're pushing it to that. You're saying no white person could ever play this Jewish person, because they don't have the heritage. Then why would we not tiptoe closer to that line that says, well, then you can't even voice a character that's...
Well, white Jewish aren't white people though.
What is a white person?
Us.
What are we?
Lacking
White
lacking
people
in
only.
melanin.
White people only. No, okay, but a lot of Jewish people are white. Then
You're talking about like
all-
Polish Jewish people and that kind of stuff.
because really white people and black people only exist within the U.S. Because other than that, you're not known by your color.
Sure, I can see what you're saying there. Because Jewish is more about the culture than it is about
Right.
the
color.
ethnicity.
But I will say, since we're talking about like going in the other direction, I hate to even bring this up, but the Avatar, the Last Airbender, a lot of people,
Talking about M. Night Shyamalan's version.
yeah, and how a lot of people look at it as if it were whitewashed. And I'll show you why, because this is the image that they have.
Oh yeah, I saw
I
that.
saw it.
Oh,
Now, I don't 100% agree. I don't think that was the intent. I don't think they were trying, because the
by an
characters,
Indian director.
the character, well, yeah, and the characters were also in the actual cartoon are racially ambiguous. They're not. They're
Most of them are Asian. They're Asian inspired.
of a type, some sort of an Asian,
Yeah, the Water Tribe is more like your. I think they're
but they're
supposed to be
blue
like-
eyed.
well, yeah, but that has more to do with like the element than it does.
Right, but they
the-
still have that. I mean, so you can see how,
The air's got gray eyes.
which is a form of blue.
Not, and this is not.
No, but in
You're talking about
reality, in
you're
true
ta-
color,
Yeah, but
in true eye color, gray eye is a form of blue eye.
yeah, and all Earth had green eyes, and Fire had, I think, did Fire have red?
Brown.
It was brown. Which in The Last Airbender, Fire is supposed to be heavily based off Japanese culture.
Right. Well, my point was you could see how they would get to there, even
Yeah.
but I can also see why other people would think that it did look like they were kind of whitewashing it a little more. I don't
yeah.
I don't necessarily think that was the intent, because especially the guy who plays Zuko, he doesn't really look white.
Zuko?
Is it Zuko?
Zuko, the guy who played Zuko was an Indian.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't look white. He did. So I don't think it was.
Slumdog Millionaire.
I don't think it was completely true, but if they had made all of them completely just white people, I would not have been happy with that.
Well, M. Night Shyamalan chose to do a different thing with that. I'm gonna say that project had a bunch of problems, and whitewashing wasn't necessarily the biggest problem of that.
Well, the
movie.
script was bad. Don't touch that sphere.
And the acting.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that Jackson Rathbone should have played Sokka, not Sokka? Sokka? Absolutely not. I think somebody indigenous should have played that, like somebody along the lines of more like Eskimo or Native American or something like
I
that.
think Eskimo is a derogatory term.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. Since when?
So what is it? Snow people?
What is it now? I apologize if that's derogatory. I
tundra people.
thought that was a true people. I thought it
Is
was
a broad term for indigenous peoples of Arctic and subarctic, but is considered offensive by many who prefer to use specific cultural names like Inuit.
Inuit.
Okay.
Yes.
Inuit.
Learn something every day.
Yeah, I apologize.
That show that the kids watch on PBS where she's in Alaska. Do they call it Inuit people?
Which,
call it Inuit?
what show?
The little adventure show with the girl that's Alaskan.
I definitely thought the Inuit people were a totally different people.
Inuit and there's different ones, but Inuit's probably the most common one. I don't remember what they called it. I know that Eskimo pie is like that's bad.
Yeah, that's
I
like
have
a
not
little
heard
offensive.
this at all.
Who's it offensive to? Is it actually offensive by them, or is this like a
Or to
woke
white
thing?
liberals.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because
Who get offended for everyone.
On everybody else's.
It was
Yeah.
never
behalf.
used as a derogatory term. It was always a descriptive term, right?
I never thought it was. I just thought that was
I just thought that's what
Let's
they were.
rub noses.
I'm about to say
Right.
Eskimo
Like the
kids.
Like you got to
Moses.
tiptoe around everything and
It's
everybody.
ridiculous.
Like, goodness gracious.
So I'll say one of the ones that bothers me the most, and everybody who has seen this show, I have not seen the actual show because I refused to watch it because it sounded stupid. It looked stupid to me, and I wasn't gonna watch the show. Was the new? It's not even. It's based off of Scooby Doo,
Blech. 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 I'm throwing up.
but it's. I got you. It's called Velma. Velma
Yeah.
is the star of the show. Velma is. She's not black. She's like Indian.
She's Indian.
But the only one that they kept white in the whole Mystery Inc. is Fred, and they make fun of him being white the whole time. Talk about him having a small penis and make him this loser dummy. Now, Fred was the leader of the group,
Right.
so he was no dummy,
So y'all falling behind a dummy? Because
right?
Yeah.
And they made Daphne Asian. They made Velma Indian. Then they had the nerve to make Shaggy black. You mean to tell me that of all the characters, you made the stoner who is sitting there getting high and eating all the time, the black one? That was what you went with. Y'all thought, y'all
you
looked
had
at this
all the decisions in the world.
and you thought this is what we're gonna do.
I want to know why they thought they needed an adult Scooby Doo.
I don't know why they tried to racially appropriate that show to begin with.
Okay.
Like Scooby Doo is a classic
Yeah.
for many generations
Yeah.
of people. Like beyond just ours. So why even mess with it?
It was the girl who is the voice of Velma. She wanted it to be this way because she
Mindy.
didn't. Yeah, she doesn't believe that there was enough representation or whatever, so she had to steal everybody else's. They didn't even put
But
Scooby Doo
we
in
took
the
it
show.
out- I was about to say we took away the option of just making different characters.
Make
to-
a good new
to,
character. Like,
it- come on now.
God,
I
like,
feel like it's an easy
What
way
if?
out.
What if they
it's the
had?
lazy way out.
What if they had said the old Mystery Inc. has grown up, and now this is Fred and Daphne's child and their new Mystery Inc.
Right,
and they,
and they
have
have different-
brothers and like friends who are
Different
different
races.
races.
and then we still get to see the old character.
Right, because they're
Exactly.
advising,
Yes.
like the new. But we that's too much thinking. That's
Right.
too much creativity.
Right.
Too
We
much
do
work.
that.
Let's just color these people a different color and make them a totally different character just because we said they gonna be
And the artwork sucks.
real bad,
It looked bad.
real bad.
So
Yeah, it's a real problem. There are so many great characters that are diverse. Like if you've watched the new Superman movie, one of the characters that steals the show is Mr. Terrific, and he is awesome. He's always been black, and now there have been some unfavorable representations of Mr. Terrific. I'm not the biggest fan of the version in the Arrow TV show, but that's just because I didn't think he was a good character. They made some other choices that I thought were bad, but in this, I think he's one of the best characters in the movie.
yeah,
And Hot Girl in the movie, she's supposed to be redheaded.
yeah.
So they did kind of make some switches there. But she's also there's a part of her lore that she's Egyptian too.
I don't think I realized that.
Yeah. It's not consistent. Hot Man, Hot Girl, they have inconsistent like mythoses. Sometimes they're aliens, sometimes they're from Egypt.
But race is not the only way that they start switching people.
No, it's not.
Then they've started to make a lot of male characters female and things like that. We
did
saw
it.
it with Doctor Who, but they made sense of it because Doctor Who comes back as a different.
Yeah, that one doesn't bother me as much as others do.
Well, it doesn't bother me because I wasn't a big Doctor Who fan. I think if I watched,
but at least it made sense.
it does. But I think it did bother a lot of Doctor Who people because he has always been a white male.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden he was a white female, and now he's a. I think they have a black
gay black man.
a gay black man, and so you're like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, and a lot of people don't like that new one at all.
Really, I haven't even seen as much about that one as I
People-
did when they made the
Well, because Disney got a hold of it. Disney's like now.
Well,
has
why
some-
am I not surprised?
has some sort of claim over Doctor Who now? I don't know how it's working.
Everything Disney has been touching has been turning to mold.
To
okay,
mold.
Not gold.
not
Get
gold.
moldy.
That good black mold.
Now,
Well, so and you do know. So okay, with the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, because Johnny Depp's apparently not coming back, they were doing an all-female cast, and they were going to have
Margot Robbie.
play it. My latest resources are they're replacing him with a black female. It's a different character, but she's a black female.
Are they going forward with that?
I don't know. Here's my thought. Disney, hit me up. my thought. So they had, I think her name's like Anna Marie. She's played by Zoe Saldana in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they want to do that, they should bring her back because the character's already been established.
Yes.
I think if you could even make a pirate ship, a female pirate ship, a big deal, but it still needs to be tied with the original story.
Yes.
Because you could have Scarlet and what was the other hooker's name?
The other hooker
Yeah, remember there was Scarlet.
that slaps. him?
Yeah, they both slap him. They both have
I don't remember their name.
Giselle. I think it's Scarlet and Giselle. You have both of them on there. You could have the Hispanic girl that has the voodoo dolls and you could have all of them in there and it be this one big thing, and it's captained by Zoe Saldana's character. That would be so
It would make
cool.
more sense.
It would make so much more sense.
Is there a reason why she did not come back to the other two?
She was not going to come back because she was quitting acting because of the way she was treated on set.
Yeah, she did
Of
not get
that movie?
experience. Yeah.
Wow.
But she's since then worked with Disney, so I think she would come back.
Well, obviously, because she's
Yeah.
a big role in Marvel.
Yep.
But
But I think that would be a better way to go about it than what they're doing. Now, they're basing the character off of a real pirate, but the real pirate is Irish, a red-headed Irish woman in real
Yeah.
life. I'm like, what are you doing?
yeah,
But aren't they about to cast Anne Boleyn as a black actress?
They did. At one point, they started. So that's a problem too. When you
I just feel like that's lazy, but finish what you're saying.
No, when we start looking at history and recasting it with anybody, with any race, there's a problem.
yeah.
It takes the history
It just-
out
yeah.
of it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
if we're
Yeah.
going to depict history,
makes it
let's
not
make it
make
as
sense.
accurate
Yeah.
And
as possible.
I'll tell you the truth.
You can do what you want to with everything else, but I mean, like Bridgerton.
Yeah,
Bridgerton's an amazing show with Indian, black, white.
it is.
You know,
I would kind of look at Bridgerton like it's telling an alternative past in a way. 'Cause
Absolutely.
It create because they come up with a whole thing that didn't happen.
but I don't
They
feel
call
like
it
it's
the Great Experiment.
lazy.
Yeah,
I feel like it's they're taking something and they're running with it.
Yeah.
But they're making it very realistic,
Yeah.
very believable.
and they at least make it all make sense. None
Right.
of these characters, with the exception of Queen Charlotte, were real characters. And obviously the king, but and Queen Charlotte wasn't black. They try to say that she wasn't black. She was. I'm pretty sure she was a redheaded white woman.
Yeah.
But what's the actress name that played her on Bridgerton? Baby, she ate that down.
She great. Don't get me wrong. It's
That
great.
is her role.
And the girl that played her in the Queen Charlotte show, she might be brown haired, but the girl that played her in the Queen Charlotte show did a really good job too.
She did.
But so yeah, like Bridgerton.
Come out
is-
Charlotte of Mecklenburg Strelitz, Queen Charlotte,
one that
of
married-
history. with the
married.
one that they tried to make her black.
They try. Yeah. Well, she is black in the show.
No, I mean they tried.
People
to
are
cast,
trying to say she actually is black.
actually was when. I mean, even if she was very passing.
As white.
Yeah,
And that's the thing now.
but yeah, but and that's what I'm saying. But she should have been cast as by somebody who could fit that role because she was not known to be a.
I'll tell you the truth. It was a real like.
That's the real.
She got gray hair in that picture.
That's old. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
that's.
It says that her lineage is debated among historians. So I think that she could have had African heritage via a Portuguese.
Relative.
Yeah,
Well,
basically.
this kind of goes
Not
into
100%
that whole. Well, wait till they hear about Jesus.
What?
You've never when people are talking. Well, wait till they hear about Jesus. Like we don't know Jesus ain't white.
Some people
yeah.
really don't know Jesus isn't white, and I don't know how. I've not really
'Cause
come
they don't
across
read
I've
it.
their
never come
Bible.
across
I've
people that
seen
don't
people
The
know.
only way
say
you
it
don't
on
know is
stuff.
if you don't read your Bible.
Right.
Right.
Jesus was a Middle
But he
Eastern
was
man.
not black either.
He was a Middle Eastern man. He had olive tone skin.
Yeah.
And I mean, probably looked like somebody from the Middle East. Like,
Yeah.
I think probably the best. And now we're not getting to the theology of this thing, but the way they portrayed him in The Shack. Did you see that movie?
No.
I mean, he looks Middle Eastern, and it's probably what he looked
Well,
like. And
Jill.
the show you Jill
The Chosen?
The Chosen.
yeah,
he's,
Rumi.
he's very Middle East. I mean, I think that was a good cast.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, and most of the people from The Chosen are of
Yeah.
Middle Eastern descent, which
Yeah.
they should be.
Well,
And-
you know, they try to point to scripture to say that he's black.
Who's they? We talking about the Black Hebrews?
Wait, what?
Some
Baby, we're going down the wrong rabbit hole.
some people who believe the people who believe that Jesus was black try to point to scripture saying that he was black. It's not really
But-
what it's saying.
I was going to say, well, that's
That's-
not what the scripture
That's dumb.
says.
Yeah.
It's dumb to portray Jesus as a blonde white kid.
Yep.
It's dumb to portray Jesus as black.
Right.
He was
This
neither of
is
those
somebody that was 100% man and 100% God. You trying to wrap your little human brain around whatever ethnicity you
Yeah.
thought that this individual was
Yeah.
is dumb to begin with.
And
Yeah.
if you are focused on the melanin, you have missed the message.
Okay?
things. Yeah.
And here's the reason. Here is the reason why Jesus has come across in so many different colors over history, is because it was widespread. It became widespread, right? And people were reading it and not necessarily thinking about where he was from.
Mm-hmm.
They just made images of this person that they were falling in love with to represent the people that they saw around them,
And their
whether they were
geographical
black or
location,
whether they
yeah.
were European or whatever they were. You see it throughout the world. Nobody was trying to make him white or make
Yeah.
him anything. They just wanted him. They wanted to, a picture of this
Yeah.
person. And it just pisses me off
Yeah.
because we know that in real life he could have been anywhere between pretty dark to fairly light, but he would have been olive.
Yeah.
Right.
So, kind of getting us back to the gender swapping thing, though. So, like, what are some other examples that you guys can think of gender swapping in?
One of the videos you sent me,
Yeah.
Jack, was the animated series. It's Gotham, the Caped Crusader, and they gender swapped the
penguin.
penguin
The penguin?
of
The penguin is now
all
female.
villains.
And I'm gonna
The
tell you, it
penguin.
looks like a trans.
It does,
Is
and
this
I feel like that's a low key method to try to make us a little bit more, I guess, palatable.
It doesn't look
of
feminine.
Is it supposed to be like
trans
alternate reality thing,
women.
though?
No,
I don't know.
I don't believe so.
For example, like
But it's a bad rendition, baby.
Like-
they should have left Penguin alone
Into
and
the
made a different
Spider-Verse.
villain.
Great movie.
Yeah,
And they gender swap Dr. Octopus with a woman.
they did.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a different reality. Like we're talking the multiverse, and the 616 Dr. Octopus.
But darn, if you're gonna do it, at least make her cute.
Right, baby? Did you see it though?
Look.
yeah,
Yeah, I was trying to pull it up so he could see it.
Oh.
It's real bad. Like they literally just put a wig on the penguin.
Same.
it looks like Ursula as a penguin.
It does.
Worse. It's
And Ursula
Ursula.
was-
It's Ursula.
Ursula was based on a Drag queen.
The female penguin in Batman is likely referring to Oswalda Cobblepot. So it's they named
Oswalda?
Oswalda Cobblepot.
Because it's so
gosh.
creative.
It's from the animated series Batman Caped Crusader.
Is she voiced by a woman?
Minnie Driver.
Oh yeah, then yeah.
But why would it have been so difficult to just create a different villain?
Yeah.
We've all grown up with, like, I've not ever seen the Penguin as a woman or
Cause
portrayed as a
ain't
woman.
never
And that's
been.
like one of his, like,
Yeah.
most
Or-
famous
yeah, one of the most.
villains.
versus compare that to to Catwoman, who
Yeah.
has been a black woman in multiple
Twice.
things.
Yeah, twice now. That's one of the, like, same movie played by, well, at least a mixed woman in the Batman.
And Eartha Kitt,
Zoe Kravitz, yeah. Eartha Kitt, yeah.
right?
I prefer her in Ernest Scared Stupid.
I'm sure you do. I prefer her in Santa Baby.
Okay,
my
so
gosh.
let's kind of talk about, like, a positive version of a gender swap.
Well,
so
I had one that wasn't so positive. Go, you go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
It's not really, but it is, but it is, but it is, but it ain't. It's from.
All right, Porky.
Bugs Bunny.
I said it is, but it ain't.
It is.
Well, cut it then.
Bleep, 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 bleep.
It is, but it ain't. And it is the Umbrella Academy when they had to change the character
Oh yeah,
because
because the actor.
the actor decided that they wanted to be the different gender.
Yeah.
So, trans actor was a female, wants to be male, so they changed the character to then fit.
Oh, the actor.
Yeah. Now the
I
character
know who you're
does
talking about
become
now that you say that.
a lesbian, I believe. In the
Well, that's not the same.
No, it's not. So
I didn't mean to be so aggressive with that.
All right.
oh, I also thought you weren't done, but no. So
Well, I
Doctor
just thought it was funny
Strange.
that you used that as you were like, when you use that as your like, well, it does become a lesbian. That's not the same thing.
well, you're right.
It's changing your whole
It's
gender.
not. It's not. I'm just saying, like, some people might not have realized, might have thought that was like a woke choice or something like that whenever they did that in the show. But it does happen in the graphic novels. But so Doctor Strange. You guys know which role I'm going to talk about in the Doctor Strange movies?
Tilda.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the Ancient One is not a Gaelic woman. I believe it is an old Tibetan man.
Yeah. So it does kind of take away a role.
It does, in a like a different ethnicity.
Yep.
True. Though I will say, I really thought that she did a great job.
She did a great job of doing it, but it could have been.
She also has a very gender netional appearance, like naturally about her.
She
I
played
do
Gabriel
think-
one time.
I think that they could have. I think she did a great job, and I didn't even realize it until I started researching the character. But I did think they could have easily given this to an older Asian man, and it could have been really, really cool because it is based in Tibetan
Yeah.
monk type stuff. It probably should have.
I mean,
been.
and they were in Tibet whenever he goes and
right,
finds
but
her,
she's clearly
a white woman.
Jadis, the
British.
White Witch.
She is that's the only role she ever. She's Jadis in everything.
I mean,
But
she
no,
was a good cast for that.
So I kind of, when it comes to swapping, I kind of live by this as my standard. It depends on how iconic the image of the character is. So Penguin, extremely iconic.
Yeah.
And that comes in a bunch of different forms. Like,
Right.
so the way that Colin Farrell portrays him in the Batman, while it's a little different, he still fits a long-running way that the Penguin looks in the comics. He's just not short, and that's the only real thing that's different. In the comics, he doesn't always have this really long, pointed nose, a monocle, a top hat. He just kind of looks like a gangster. So that's a big deal. However, most people aren't going to be like, I know what the Ancient One looks like. And, oh man, when I think of the Ancient One, I think
I
of a
can see what
old Tibetan man with a really long beard and mustache.
Sure,
Like,
and I can see that, except for the fact that they still made them a whole Tibetan.
I mean, you're
thing.
right. You're right. Like, I'm just saying, like, I don't get as up in arms about like changing a character that doesn't have an iconic look to them. Superman is a white-skinned guy with black hair and blue eyes, and that is how he's always been portrayed, and that's how everybody sees him in their head. Batman, same thing. Black-haired guy, white. That's what Bruce Wayne looks like, and that is an iconic look for that character, and it has been that way for decades.
DC only had one main character in the beginning. It was a white guy with black hair and blue eyes, and then they made it a woman for Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
because they all looked pretty much the same.
Barry Allen, blonde-headed guy.
But since you're talking about this, like, I think to kind of compare and contrast this to a way of the way that I think it's been done well of creating a character that has taken off. Since we're talking about Batman and the way that they tried to make the Penguin a female, when we were growing up, Harley Quinn was not a real character.
Correct.
She was created for the animated series and took off and has become one of the top tier row of the rogue gallery for Batman.
Right.
And it all started with that. Why can't they create new characters?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest problem,
Mr. J.
Like, just. And they are creating characters in comics now, and some of those characters are getting pushed into films and stuff like that a little bit faster than other characters are, and that's good, and I think that should be encouraged. I mean, Hal Jordan is my favorite superhero of all time, Green Lantern. He's the first Green Lantern. But I understand that a lot of people grew up with the Justice League animated series where Jon Stewart was the Green Lantern. And I'm so excited that we're getting a Lanterns TV show that's got both of them in it because they are the fan favorites. They're the ones that everybody likes the most. I'm so scared that they're going to kill Hal Jordan off because the dude that's playing him is 60 years old and Aaron Pierre is like 20 years old. He's probably younger than that. But he's a fan favorite. So that's kind of what it comes down to for me. Like, these characters, what do they look like in people's heads? And if people don't have like this draw to them and they're not iconic for them, then I don't think it matters as much.
I'm all for keep the authenticity, but pro representation.
Yeah.
But you can do that in a very tactful way.
Yeah.
And I feel like some ways that have been executed have just been lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it just for the sake of doing it. Like, I don't even like
Right.
when they do these strong female moments in movies just for the sake of having a strong female moment.
You didn't like the female moment in Endgame?
No, it's stupid.
Still a great movie though.
Or
The movie's fantastic.
the whole Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Because you're talking about like Ray.
Ray.
Ray is like literally the worst character.
She is the worst character.
It happens mainly on the second and third of those, but absolutely the worst character, and they made her overpowered.
And Captain
Yeah.
Marvel was probably the worst.
Ugh.
Captain Marvel's terrible.
I feel like maybe I have a bad taste in my mouth about Captain Marvel because I'm not a big Brie Larson.
Brie Larson,
fan.
I can't stand Brie Larson.
Because she looks a lot like she looks great as Captain Marvel.
I didn't like Brie Larson after what I didn't really know who she was before. Those movies is what made me not like her. So don't judge yourself too harsh there.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, it kind of had to do with a lot of the marketing for that movie too, like, and how terribly she handled herself and all this stuff. All of the
She just wasn't a good actor.
There's one that we can talk about. Since you hit on this, the new Snow White.
oh boy,
Because
we forgot about this one.
and
She
I don't,
hits
Really?
all
or
the
were we
things.
saving ourselves?
Did we
grand
really
finale.
are we saving ourselves?
Renee.
Rachel,
Thank you. Rachel Zegler is just a horrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that I don't know why y'all had to make Snow White be dirt brown, I don't understand.
Hey, why'd you call us dirt brown?
Call
Because
us
she's not
dirt brown.
Because she's not Snow White.
No, she's not. But I just don't know why you had to say
Well,
dirt.
but
Snow White.
what was I
dirt
gonna call
brown.
her? Snow Brown?
Brown snow.
Brown snow? That sounds like doo doo.
Um,
We're talking because dirt is actually of a brown color. That was why I went with that.
I mean,
way.
I think you need to pay attention to the logic behind like these things too. Snow White is called Snow White because her skin is
Specifically
white,
for her skin
Yeah.
Yeah.
color.
and she needs to have black hair. She needs to have pretty. Honestly,
all
her
important part.
lips need to be
red.
naturally red.
Well, you can get by with that with makeup.
You can, but I think it's a plus.
Yeah, I mean,
to
but
try to be as
it's going to
accurate
be
as you
very
can.
hard to fit that exact description, but she does need to fit it pretty closely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have to give her a black wig that and you can ripen up her lips a little bit, whatever. But the girl, how you gonna make her whiter?
Yeah.
And you did a girl who is clearly Hispanic, Latina, and she's not even that bad of a singer, but her acting was not great.
No.
And
Neither.
And then put her against Gal Gadot. who's
And
put her against
literally
Gal Gadot
gorgeous.
as the girl who she thought that's who she's jealous of. That's who they said was more beautiful.
Now that part's true, though. Gal Gadot did not do a good job in that movie.
She did not. I'm not talking her acting. Her acting was
people not happy with her acting lately.
And not only that, but then they first got rid of the dwarves.
Oh my god, that
had-
one right there. You totally erased an entire demographic of people.
That was an erasure of people.
Like an actual erasure.
And you made them the magical people or whatever, and then you had to go back in and fix it because everybody was in uproar about it. And what did you do to fix it? You gave us CGI dwarfs.
And they look awful.
They looked
Right.
awful. You could tell it was done in a rush.
and little people actors are extremely upset about it.
Yep.
And also a lot of people are extremely upset with Peter Dinklage because he defended it.
Yeah. He was the one who was the cause of it.
Yeah. And God, that's wild.
A man
whole
who has
movie
made
was
his
just
living off of
doomed.
playing dwarves and short people, little people, and then wants to turn around and act like we shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tyrion.
Yeah.
I'm sorry who played the angry elf in the movie Elf.
He was a South Pole elf.
You literally have made your name off of playing these roles.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's all right if they switch out the Oompa Loompas and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Would you think that would be real?
I don't know what the original description of the Oompa Loompas were in the book.
I don't
th-
know,
I
but
think-
Oompa
I think-
Loompa.
I think the
just
way they
the name
look,
sounds.
I think the way
small.
they look in the movies, I think it's.
I feel
Oh, you mean
close.
trying to make them larger?
Just
Are you
making
talking about?
them
You talking
normal
about?
sized people. Like I feel like that wouldn't be as believable.
Yeah.
Or are you also talking about Hugh Grant playing an Oompa Loompa in?
I'm just
Okay.
talking about in the movie.
Yeah.
If Oompa Loompas were cast as regularly sized height people,
Yeah.
I would think that would be so much less
Yeah.
believable, and it would take away from the story.
No, I mean I agree. And
So let me read this. In the first edition of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Oompa Loompas are depicted as dark-skinned African pygmies.
interesting.
Well, there you go.
Very.
This was a source of controversy, and in the 1970s, the NAACP criticized the story and stated that Oompa Loompas had overtones of slavery. And so Dahl, the author, insisted the Oompa Loompas had no racist intent, and he rewrote the book, changing the Oompa Loompas' skin color to white and changing the origin of the Oompa Loompas from African to the made-up Loompaland. The second design was drawn by a British illustrator,
So they're white,
so they're now white.
Were they orange?
not little orange men with green hair.
Right?
I'm gonna say they're orange with green hair because that's what I believe.
That's pretty. Yeah. And that's the iconic look that we have, and that's another rabbit hole we could go down a different time.
Yeah, that's not for
It's
today.
make believe. Orange
But,
with green hair is more make believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, there are a lot of like,
But they're
times-
all played by little white men.
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. But they orange with green hair.
And
They're
there's-
not white.
There's a lot of times whenever the swaps end up working really well. Like I had a hard time with Hamilton at first because this was a retelling of history. But most of the characters were either black or Latino or whatever. But I watched it and it's great.
Right.
It's great. And I also kind of get it. It's a hip hop thing. So us white dudes, most of us aren't great at that. And so now we'll say
Talk
Hamilton
about yourself,
has been
Caucus.
Hamilton has been played by a white guy on like one of the touring shows and stuff like that. But so things can be great, and we're not saying that can't happen. We're just saying it's not racist or sexist to want it to be true to the source material. Yeah. That's all
And
we're
if
saying.
you are doing historical people, specifically in movies, I think it's best to try to represent the character as they looked.
As authentic as you can.
Correct.
Sure.
I know that there are some differences and some opinions on what people were. We don't. I think that Jesus should be played by a more Middle Eastern, brown-skinned person.
Agreed.
I also think Nefertiti should be not played by a black person because she was not black.
or Rachel Weisz.
She should be played right. She should be played by a more brown-skinned person because that's what we have actual images of that time period that has her as that. Even though I think the black community culture has tried to take her in as if she was a black queen. She wasn't, according to historical some actual images. I think it's best to make people look like they were. I realize that we're in a different time period than we were when they made Cleopatra, but Cleopatra would not have been a white woman the way that we envisioned her from Elizabeth Taylor playing her.
Right.
I can't remember what her history was. I think that she did have some Greek in there, so maybe she would be a little more pale than
Other Egyptians.
than some of the other Egyptians or whatever. I can't remember her actual
Roman.
her
She had Roman
lineage.
in her.
Rome, maybe something. Maybe it was Roman.
It's Greek or Roman. Yeah.
And so there might be some wiggle room there, but I think it's best to try and portray historical people as close as possible. When you have people that we have ingrained into a whole culture, generations' minds, it's best to kind of keep that as close as possible as well, because all you're doing is you're sending yourself down a bad hole of ticking off your fans.
I mean, and that kind of goes along with what I'm saying too. Like, we know what a lot of these people look like. We have depictions that have been going around for years and years and years and years. And I mean, we all know what Napoleon looks like.
Yeah.
We all know what Cleopatra more than likely looked like. I mean, because I think they're like actual Egyptian art pieces of her, right? We know what George Washington looked like. We know what Abraham Lincoln looked like. We know what Winston Churchill
I've heard
looked
that they tried to make they've tried to make Abraham Lincoln black.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking.
What?
That-
I don't understand.
Because
I'm trying.
is that
to,
is that
but it's
because
just funny because
is that because he was the president that oversaw emancipation?
Friend, I don't know.
But didn't he also own slaves?
I don't think he did.
I think he did
I'm pretty sure he did.
at one point.
Did he? I know Washington did, but Washington also was an abolitionist.
That's a whole we can
Yeah.
get that's
I wasn't going.
there's a whole we could go down the whole slavery
Yeah, that might be another one for another time.
abolitionist thing another time. Did Abraham Lincoln have slaves?
AI is telling me no. I don't believe AI.
I don't believe AI.
He was very poor, so
Yeah.
That's true. He was poor.
he may not have been able to
I truly
in
do
that
not
time
know,
period.
but I don't think so.
One of these articles says he inherited slaves, but I don't think that kind of lines up with if he was poor, how would you inherit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like true. I don't know. It would take something for us to. We'd have to do some research on that one.
Yeah.
Um,
And I know we talk more about race swapping than we did gender swapping. I think it's the more common.
It's more
of the
common.
two.
It's more accepted right now. It's,
Yeah.
you know.
And I think, but between the four of us, I think the general consensus is black people, other ethnicities.
You made fun of me.
Yeah.
Other.
I think the general consensus is that black people, Latino people, indigenous people, Asian people, they would much rather have authentic new characters than be like, oh, we'll just give you a character that was never intended to be like this just so you can have that character.
Yeah.
'Cause
That
don't
is
give me
how
no
we feel.
hand-me-downs. I don't want no seconds.
That's right. Dumb.
And if you're going live action, The Lion King, make them look like they did in the cartoon. That's all I gotta say.
I'm just saying they could have freaking capitalized so much on Lion King by
that was
just
iconic.
using the original audio from
Yeah.
the original thing because
Yeah.
nobody was real in it. Like, there's
Right.
no reason they needed to recast it. They could have made so much money.
They're African. They have to be black.
Seth Rogen.
Although none of the cast was actually African, they were black. You could have had, if you were going to recast
Yeah.
it, you could have used
That's true.
African
That's
people.
very true.
That's true.
Though I will say, Mufasa wasn't a bad movie.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It was better than The
I
Lion
saw
King.
Wait a minute now.
It was better than The Lion King in live action adaptation.
Oh, okay.
That's what I
You're
meant.
making some-
No, not the original cartoon.
I didn't like some of the history that choices that they made because it didn't line up with what was previously thought to be by Disney and some of their other
Like
stuff. That-
Canon?
within the cartoon canon and the
Oh, you're talking about the TV show? Canon?
not just like the cartoon canon because they had books and everything that go along that follow along in there, and it doesn't line up. So that's neither here nor there.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
You know what? I thank you both for being on,
Thanks for having me.
and
Thank you for the invite.
oh, well, y'all always welcome. Well, I mean, you kind of
I mean,
you live here, Jill.
Yeah, you're right. You're in my hole. More ways
Well, we
than
do
one.
have some little ones,
Yeah.
so it ain't the first
You
time.
could
lot
at
of
least
little
wait for us
rabbits.
to get out the burrow.
Oh, but no, y'all are always invited to be on the podcast. We appreciate you. Thank you for y'all's your input. And all right, well,
I'll get out.
love you, Buck.
I'll still be good.
Down and down the rabbit hole.